How are you guys doing? This is Ryan. Welcome back to the channel. In this week's video, I want to talk a bit about Russell Brand getting demonetized from YouTube and moving over to Rumble, and then therefore should I or any other YouTube creators really be looking at Rumble as a platform? I just downloaded the app yesterday, and I'm curious on some feedback I can get from this video, and I want to talk about, like, you know, kind of like shame on me. It's taken me so long to really explore other content creation sites, and just, you know, it's just there's so many of these ones that pop up, and you just don't know which one really to invest in because your time, because, you know, YouTube definitely has been the shit for a while now. So first, let's talk a little bit about Russell Brand. I've been watching Russell Brand's content for a long time, probably over 10 years. And, you know, a lot of stuff I disagree with him on, or at least historically, but there's also a lot of stuff that I thought he was very interesting about. And let's be clear, he's been alleged of rape, like something extremely bad. And all of a sudden, you know, before even like any kind of trial or anything's proven, he's demonetized and lost his channel. So let's first talk about, could Russell Brand have raped someone? Honestly, I don't know, and there's no evidence. But, like, why should I start with thinking yes or no? I mean, the guy was a meth addict, you know. So, like, has he done some dumb shit? Absolutely, but that's a real tall thing to say, and meanwhile you're getting you know, demonetized. But it's also, like, so clear as day that the state, you know, we have people like Jeffrey Epstein, who has a flight log of people that would take advantage of underage girls on an island, and yet, like, that's so suppressed. There's no trial there to figure out who it was, and these people still walk among us and are very powerful people in our society that were doing these horrible things. Like, there's no fucking focus on it. Like, it's absolute bullshit. And but therefore, like, because an allegation pops up, if someone says something about me, could I have everything taken away from me? So there's probably a high probability these charges are untrue. And why could they be untrue? They could absolutely be untrue because the media does this against people that speak out against mainstream narratives. And Russell Brand, I kind of considered him like almost like a communist for a while. He used to say things like, "Profit's a dirty word. Profit's a dirty word." I always say in business, and I'll say it to my clients, profit's not a dirty word. Like, I'll never forget that Russell Brand said that. But so I'm a anarcho-capitalist and, like, absolutely, like, disagree with that comment, but yet I am also a big fan of the person. And I just think it's important to you know, listen to people that disagree with you. And, like, this whole narrative of today, since the COVID pandemic, is like, there's some people that if you disagree with them, you cannot hear them. You're not allowed to hear people you disagree with. And that's so, or at least disagrees with the narrative. And so first, now let's let's talk about what Russell Brand said on Bill Maher's show, that I thought it was, like, extremely powerful and resonated with a lot of people, when he told Bill Maher that if we have a corporatist system that benefits from crisis, you're going to have crises that are created to benefit the corporatist companies. So whether that is the military fighting a war in Ukraine, that crisis benefits someone. Whether you have a viral crisis with the COVID, there's going to be people lining up to make money in the bio industry. And then whether it's whatever it is, an energy crisis, they're going to, as long as someone can game the system and make a huge profit, they're likely going to continue to cause and create crises in our lives to make sure this is happening. So that's extremely powerful to say, and that puts him in the crosshairs. I mean, it was so, like, point blank how they went after Joe Rogan because he was not taking the COVID vaccine. They did a whole smear campaign. They tried to find any kind of evidence online to claim that he's a racist. Like, they love to, like, say rapist, racist, conspiracy theorist. They doctored up a video of him on CNN of his like face being yellow to say like, hey, he's probably not doing well. The guy was probably sick for an afternoon because he's extremely healthy, and he does a lot of things that are a lot better for you to prevent yourself from dying from COVID-19 than the vaccine, and they will never want to admit that. So Russell Brand, Rumble. Also, I want to bring up like X.com a little bit. So let's talk about, I haven't really spent too much time on Rumble, but I definitely think if I need to start dabbling or at least encouraging creators, at least start a community like, hey, you know, YouTube has been cutting your pay for years, and it's definitely not a free speech zone. It's also infiltrated by intelligence agencies to make sure certain information is withheld from the public. So it's at least a good sign, at least that Rumble or X can still take part in the marketplace. It shows some kind of free market still existing, even though I'm cautiously optimistic about the future of that. But some kind of free market of press to still exist. But is Rumble it? I really think in the long term, like these centralized platforms will hold off enough time to keep information out till we can cryptographically create better ways to own your digital property. So just like the way you do a Bitcoin transaction or a Bitcoin Cash transaction, you hold the key in that non-custodial wallet. You can hopefully do the same thing within your digital property where you're putting out content. You know, you own that digital space, and therefore, you can't be infiltrated on. You got to protect that key, but that digital space will be uncensorable, and this whole central system, is trying to create competing areas for thought. It's very challenging. Rumble, X.com, my concerns about those are being centralized, that they're going to be overly the other side, or let's call, for lack of a better term, overly right-wing. Like I said, I want to see and get exposed to information that is different from mine, but the platforms that are really thriving on there are currently more right-wing because they're getting shut down from your more legacy type big media tech companies, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all these ones that are clearly compromised. So it's just setting up for the future for these institutions to be, for these institutions to be infiltrated as well, because it's lacking, I think, enough diversity in thought, and I'm sure they're challenging themselves to be it, but like you can clearly tell, like X.com is so much into one personality. Even though I'm a big fan of Elon Musk and wanting a free marketplace of ideas, at least I'm not exposed to a lot of content that's different than my own. I guess somewhat I am, but it definitely could be more. But also that's why algorithms exist, to show you content that you want to see. But you got to challenge yourself. You can't live in an echo chamber, and that's so much of what's going on with just mainstream. It's the same echo chamber of ideas. So let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think about Rumble? I'm surprised, I've seen Tucker Carlson's done so well on X.com. Surprised that Russell Brand's not tripling down on that, and people trying to work closer with Elon to get, I think that's a goal of theirs, to get, become a big player against YouTube for content creators. If you can make money on these platforms, it's fantastic, but I'm really curious about Twitter's financial position. The reason I say that, they're just changing so much, and I think I'm not sure how clear the vision is. I know it's probably bleeding cash, and I guess they're privately held. I don't know if Elon's just floating that bill or selling off shares. I mean, they're probably burning billions of dollars. But anyways, and Rumble's going to have same challenges. YouTube became a cash cow. It took a long time, for these venture capital ideas to really generate some positive cash flow. So those business models, you have to wonder, and then therefore it's like this can all just be done on a blockchain. The chain has to remain economically viable, but the need for a central institution to remain heavily profitable is less of a burden. And as long as you have just a decent security model that incentivizes some kind of node to maintain the system. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit out there, but that's the future. It's clearly Web3. But in the meantime, where to go next? So I'm gonna play around with Rumble. I haven't officially made a channel yet. I'll let you know here when I do. But in the meantime, guys, thanks for watching. Give the video a thumbs up. October 9th, we're golfing my Bitcoin Cash charity golf tournament at PJ National. It's gonna be freaking awesome, man. We have so many people coming out. This event's great. The last one was great too. Just we learned a lot. We're running it just more sound economically and create a better experience for everyone. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.